Hey, Jennie Potter here, and I am back with episode 7 for the limited series based on the book Self-Sabotage No More. Our series, Self-Sabotage No More with Jennie Potter, is all about getting out of your own way and stepping into your divine mission. So, if you have been getting in your own way and you don't know why, if you've been getting in your own way when it comes to setting goals, releasing some weight, feeling healthy, living abundantly, hitting next level, getting a promotion, growing your business, staying home and working, whatever your thing is, whatever you have been dreaming of doing, wanting to do, but you don't show up for yourself in the way that you want to, we are going to cover in the following episodes, and we have been covering episodes previously on how to get out of your own way. And I promise you, I'm going to leave you with a very tangible, very useful exercise, which you may be able to use every single day moving forward. This is going to help you process emotions in the moment and help you release unprocessed emotions, which might be stuck, which might be in your way of that next step or that next thing that you want to do. And so today we're going to be talking about my alarm method. Now, my alarm method was designed because as I was working with my coaching clients, I noticed that some of them were kind of getting in their own way and they weren't sure why. And so we stepped into this process of let's be aware what's going on. What am I feeling? Where am I feeling it? How do I release that? And so we created this really simple method based on the acronym A.L.A.R.M, alarm. And so we're going to shift into learning about how to use that on a daily basis to support your life in how you show up. Okay. So, an example of this might be if you are procrastinating about a task, like maybe you need to get your taxes done so that you get a return in a timely manner. Maybe you need to uh, reach out to someone and ask them if they're open to your product or opportunity. Maybe you need to get something done at work that the boss has asked you for and you just haven't done it. Maybe you have set a goal of going for a walk every day, but every day passes, every day comes and goes, and you don't go for that walk. Whatever your goal is, whatever the thing is, wherever you feel you're stuck, we're going to tap into what emotions you're feeling around this, and we're going to help you release. Okay. So, at very least, this is a tool that you can use to release emotion in the moment. And at very best, this is going to help you release old stuff that has been triggering you and causing you to feel stuck or blocked or not move forward. In a sense, sometimes these emotions are causing you to reach out and hit that snooze button. And so we don't want to hit the snooze button on our lives anymore. It's time for you to step into your divine mission. It is my divine mission to help you do that and get out of your own way. So I'm so excited for today's episode. This exercise is going to be very powerful. First off, though, last week we talked about unprocessed emotions, and the week before that, sabotage beliefs. All of this kind of comes together. All of these episodes sort of stack one on the other. Every single exercise I give you, every single little tidbit I give you helps you have a more clear insight into why you're showing up the way you're showing up and why you're not showing up the way you want to show up. And so today we're going to speak about emotion. And last week we talked about unprocessed emotion. And I kind of mentioned like this is like a vibration or a frequency. And one of the things I wanted to share with you today is a healer and author, Elaine McCusack, Elaine Day McCusack. She wrote a book called Electric Bodies. What is it? Electric Body, Electric Health. And so in her book, there's tons of cool stuff in here. And she discovered unprocessed emotions through using a tuning fork. So she was using sound frequency, healing people, and she noticed these distinct patterns. And so she went on to research at MIT some cool data around emotions and frequency. And I'll just read to you in her book what she shares, so that I don't misquote her. But she discusses the research uncovered at MIT Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Lab, where they created a device that used radio waves to detect human emotion. The emotion recognition device, known as EQ radio, works much like her tuning forks. A lot like a dolphin or a bat uses for echolocation navigation. Okay, so EQ radio bounces wireless signals off a person and analyzes the signal that comes back. Radio waves are impacted by human vibration and can detect changes in the person's emotional state. So what does that mean? It's just more science, more understanding, more data around the fact that our emotions are literally giving off a frequency. And if you've ever tried to manifest, or you are a believer that what you put out comes back to you, or you attract what you're vibrating at, or if you're trying to manifest something, and you speak out a word and you're so frustrated, why does it take so long for me to manifest? Like, why don't things come to me instantly? Like, for some people, things just happen instantly. So what's going on there? And I would say your emotions that you have unprocessed, and the ones that you're having in the moment, but your unprocessed emotions are kind of like this frequency that's constantly pulsing. And so if we don't get rid of those lower energy negative in the sense that they're lower vibration emotions, if we don't clear those, then it's almost like your radio frequency, what you're broadcasting, is a little bit more garbled. So, when you're tuning the radio, and you can kind of hear a song, but not fully hear the song. Well, that kind of hearing of the song is maybe you speaking out like, I'm abundant, I win the lottery, or whatever you're trying to manifest that day. Okay. But it doesn't come through clearly because there's all this static. The static is the unprocessed emotion, and that's what we're trying to clear. And so, I really like that. I really like that science project around the EQ radio, because it very specifically collects data around what emotions have what frequency, and then detects those emotions. Super powerful stuff. If you get a chance to read that book, if you like stuff like that, Electric Body, Electric Health is a super great, powerful book with lots of cool studies in it, around, especially specifically around sound healing and frequency and stuff like that. The other book that is very powerful and very, very well researched and thought out is by Dr. Bradley Nelson, and it is called The Emotion Code. And he goes specifically into all kinds of cool details around inherited emotion that we have, not only in our own vibration. He calls them trapped emotions, what I call unprocessed emotions, and just really cool science behind how emotion affects our bodies, and how it can affect us in healing, and moving towards, or assisting the body in healing itself, essentially. And so let's jump in. So one of the things that we do with emotions before we get to the A.L.A.R.M method, which I promise we are going to get to and you're going to love, but one of the things we do that's not powerful is we speak as if we are the emotion. And I'm touching on this because uh, this is really powerful around language. Sometimes, depending on which language you grew up speaking, you will identify as if you are the emotion. So, what I mean by this is, if I have a stomach ache, I just say to you, like, hey, I have a stomach ache. My stomach hurts. Okay. But if I feel anxiety, I might say to you, I'm anxious. I am anxious. So, why don't I say I am stomach ache? Because I'm not a stomach ache. Why am I saying I am anxious? I'm not anxious. I am not anxiety. I have the feeling, I have the vibration of anxiety. And so, one of the things I do is I say, body is anxious. And this helps me not only step away a little bit so I can observe what's going on, but it also adds some humor. So for me, adding a little bit of humor to body is angry, body is hungry, body is anxious, body is sad, it's going to allow me to look at, okay, this is a vibration. This isn't who I am. So if you're feeling low, careful not to speak out, I am depressed. Okay. Because we don't want to label ourselves as the emotion. You wouldn't say, I am migraine. You would say, my head hurts. Okay. You would say, I have a migraine. And so just keep that in mind when you're speaking of emotion. This is very, very powerful. Separate yourself a little bit from the emotion you're experiencing and be curious. And so the first thing that helps us with when we're curious about emotion instead of stepping into it and becoming it is that it allows us to be aware. And awareness is actually the first step of the A.L.A.R.M method. So the A.L.A.R.M method, A being the first letter in A.L.A.R.M, standing for awareness, is simply this. When you're feeling anything, note your awareness, okay? Like note the feeling, be aware of the feeling. So for example, if you sit down to reach out to 3 people, yesterday you made the decision, I'm going to reach out to 3 people tomorrow. I'm going to tell them about XYZ. And you sit down and you're like, ooh, maybe I'll just clean up my email first. Maybe I will hop onto Canva and create an image for something I'm doing on social media. Maybe I'll call my mom. Maybe I'll chat to my bestie. Maybe I'll vacuum. Maybe I'll do laundry. Okay, if that's happening to you when you sit down to do the thing, whether it's your taxes or reaching out to 3 people or sending an email you don't want to send, notice the emotion that you're feeling. Be aware of the emotion that you are experiencing. So you're procrastinating, you're aware of that, but what's under that? What do you feel when you procrastinate? So this might be an obvious answer to you, but as a coach, when I ask people this question and we get specific on what is holding them back, you would be surprised at how many responses come back that are different. So for some people, it's fear. They feel fear. Fear is absolutely the thing that's stopping them. They know this, they feel it, and they're going to do anything to avoid it. This is also a survival technique. All the automation, all the sticking to negative stuff and Teflon with the positive stuff, all of that is survival techniques. All of that is like survival, trying to keep you. If you're feeling fear, okay, your body is going to respond to that with procrastination, with avoidance, with sleepiness, with sickness, all kinds of stuff. You are very powerful. And so the key here is notice what is the feeling. So as I was saying, not everybody's feeling fear. Some people are feeling shame, beating themselves up because they're not doing the thing and they're proving themselves right that they're no good. Some people are feeling guilt. Some people are feeling anger, angry with themselves because they're not doing the thing they said they would, angry with themselves that they're breaking their word to themselves. Some people are feeling dejected, rejected. Some people are imagining already that they're not going to get a good response or love. Some people are remembering, whether their conscious mind is remembering it or not. Some people are back in that schoolyard getting bullied for the very first time, even though it's 25, 30 years later. So this is the power of this exercise, is being aware. Number one, how are you feeling? Okay. And so when you're doing this exercise, and by the way, you can go to my website at www.jenniepotter.com And you can download this A.L.A.R.M method so that it helps you walk through. It's a very simplified version. In my book, I go into detail. There's a whole chapter on all of the different sections. But if you want just a cheat sheet for this while you're getting good at it, because it's something that you really could use every single day, you could also teach your family members, teach your children how to process emotion in the moment. And so if you want to download that PDF, just hop onto jenniepotter.com and check it out. You can download it for free. And super excited to share that with you because this is a transformational, tangible tool. So A is for awareness. L is for location. Where are you feeling that emotion in your body? So let's just pretend, for ease sake, you're procrastinating. You are aware. Okay, well, I'm anxious. I feel anxious. I feel kind of nervous or anxious or worried or that kind of angsty feeling. And so you're feeling anxious. The next step is, where are you feeling that? So how you know you're feeling an emotion is vibration, but we don't think about it that way. We're like, ooh, you feel sick in your stomach. That's anxiety for some. Okay. Heaviness on your chest. That's stress for some. Burning or seeing red or, feeling confused. Lots of people experience emotion in different ways, but you will feel it in your body. That's how you know you're feeling it. So just locate it. Where is it? Let's just pretend for this example's sake that you feel anxiety in your tummy. Okay. So you feel this angsty feeling in your tummy. And so once you note the location, you can go to the next step. And the next step, it's okay if you don't get an answer to this question, but we're going to ask a question, okay? And when we get an answer, if we don't get an answer, totally cool, go to the next step. If you do get an answer, I want you to just be curious about it, okay? You don't, or just like kind of note it. And as a side note, just so you know, most people, the first answer that comes up to the question, not only is it correct, but they usually question it or doubt it. So you might go, oh, yeah, I know exactly what it is. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes someone will say, I know exactly what it is. I broke my mom's favorite vase when I was 6 years old. But sometimes you disregard it because it seems like a small thing, or you feel like you should have processed or dealt with that thing already. Whatever pops into your head first is probably the right answer. And so, without any stress or pressure, just be curious and ask yourself this question. So, A, you're aware. I'm aware I'm anxious. L, I've located it. It's in my tummy. And then the next A is ask the question, when have I felt this before? When have I felt this before? So, once you get an answer to that question, just be curious about it. So let's just pretend that I ask myself that question, when have I felt this before? And I remember a time when I was on the cheerleading team and we had to wear these like navy blue shoes that were not cool. And we went to a competition and everyone, all the other cheerleading teams had amazing shoes and we were kind of laughed at or mocked. Okay. So this is like the memory. This memory pops up. I remember these ugly navy blue cheerleading shoes. Okay. And I remember what it felt like, how embarrassed I felt to be laughed at and looked at and mocked. Okay. And so let's just say that pops up. Now, that's a typical memory that will pop up that you would want to dismiss. Like, there's no way navy blue, sneakers from what is probably 30 years ago now. Okay. So you have that memory. So, first of all, we're just going to be curious about that. Like, whoa, that's interesting. Okay. Now, if I'm going to connect the dots here for a moment with you, that moment I had anxiety because there was a lot of other kids around that I didn't know. There was a lot of pressure because we were going into competition, and I didn't want to let the team down. And I was really felt insecure about, myself and my worthiness and being there and all of that stuff. Okay. And so, how does that relate to what's happening now? Well, what's happening now is I'm about to reach out to a stranger or reach out to someone I admire or reach out to a friend and say, hey, I've got this thing and I was just curious if you were open to looking at it. And I what I've triggered is they're going to laugh at me. Whatever I'm bringing to the table, they're going to mock or laugh at me. So I have triggered that old cheerleading memory from 30 something years ago. And so that's an example of what might pop up, but really it could be something much more traumatic. It could be something much lighter, and it could be nothing. It's totally cool. Just if you have a memory, notice it. If you got a pen and paper, write it down. And then we're just going to go to the next step. Okay. So if you did get a memory, what's exciting and cool about that is that we're going to release that emotion during this exercise. And so A is for awareness, L is for location. The next A is for ask the question, when have I felt this before? And the next step is R. R is for relax and release. Okay. It's for a bunch of things actually. The R fits perfectly in here. Relax, release, reset. Okay. But what we're going to do is, first of all, something very powerful that you can do is breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth like 5 to 10 times. So just in through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay. Now, what this does is this helps reset that fight or flight that might be triggered. This helps reset and calm your emotions, calm your body, calm any stress you might be feeling. And so, even though I'm taking what seems like forever to describe this process, this is a very quick process. What am I feeling? Where am I feeling it? When have I felt it before? Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, 5 to 10 times. Once you've done that, as you're doing that, you can even be breathing into the location. Okay. So, again, we'll go back to the stomach ache example. If you had a stomach ache, usually because you're feeling pain there, you tense. What we want to do is relax the body part that you have located is where the emotion is living. Okay. So we just want to relax. If it's your chest, we just want to relax your chest muscles. And you can start from your toes and go all the way to the top of your head if you want. As you're breathing, just relax your toes, your legs. But the goal here is to relax the area that you felt the emotion. Okay. This is a tangible thing that you can do. I remember once years ago when I was in counseling school, one of the counselors was trying to help me release anger. And she said, just allow the anger. And I just didn't understand what she meant. I was like, how? How do I allow anger? Like, I don't want anger. I don't like anger. I don't want to feel anger. How am I supposed to allow the anger? Like, give me physical steps. This is a physical step in the allowing and releasing process is you're going to notice your physical body and relax that area, okay? So as you breathe into this area, and relax. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth and relax this area. We're going to do one more thing, and this is called unpacking. And so we're just going to unpack. And so there's lots of science connected to this energetically, but we're not even going to get into that today. I'm just going to show you an action. Now, I know you're listening, so I'm going to tell you how to do this action. And if you want to see a video, you can just hop onto YouTube and type in Jennie Potter A.L.A.R.M method or Jennie Potter unpacking movement, and you will find my movement for clearing emotion. But essentially, it's pretty simple. It's almost like wiping cobwebs off your arms, but you're just going to go shoulder to wrist, shoulder to wrist, shoulder to wrist, shoulder to wrist, okay, with the intention that you are clearing whatever that emotion is. So today we're talking about anxiety in our example. So I'm clearing anxiety, clearing anxiety, clearing anxiety. Now, you can do that as many times as you like. 3 movements is usually enough. 3 to 10, you're pretty safely gonna release anything that you have brought up. So we just gonna release, release, release. Okay. Releasing anxiety, releasing anxiety, releasing anxiety. We're doing that unpacking movement. So R is releasing and relaxing. Okay. This is like hitting the reset button. This is like hitting that button on the alarm that's going off, the smoke detector that we've been talking about. We're just going to reach up and hit that reset button. We're going to do that by breathing in, relaxing into that area, and using the unpacking motion to just clear, clear, clear. Okay. And so the last step in this method is going to use the unpacking movement, but we're going to call it the packing movement. It doesn't really matter what we call it, it's the exact same movement with a slightly different intention. So, just like you would unpack a suitcase, and let's just say you were unpacking a suitcase and you found a rotten apple. Let's just say you left your bag for 2 weeks, you didn't unpack it, and then you opened it up and there's this gross, rotten apple that you forgot you put in your stuff. So you're dealing with that, right? You're clearing it out. You're using the action of unpacking to clear that out. But now you're going on a new trip and you're going to pack in what you want to pack, what you want to take. And so M is for mantra. And here we're going to speak our mantra 3 times where we pack in this new mantra or affirmation. Okay. And so this is going to be probably the opposite of whatever emotion you were feeling. So right now, I was feeling anxious. I cleared the anxiety. Now I'm going to pack in calm, pack in calm, pack in calm. I'm bringing calm into my energy. Okay. That is my intention. That is my focus. That's what I'm packing my suitcase with is calm. Okay. As an added bonus, that action is amazing to do when you're doing your affirmations in the mirror. So if you're like, I'm abundant, I'm abundant, I'm abundant, money comes to me in many different ways, many different ways, many different ways. You can do this all day long. This action, it's all about intention. So we're either clearing out or we're packing in. Okay. And so again, to touch on the steps is the A.L.A.R.M method. You have just successfully cleared anxiety from your body and from that old event. Okay. If you didn't have a memory, then you will just be clearing the emotion that came up in the moment. This is awesome to teach your kids that movement because you can help them clear their emotions out more quickly. And so you're going to do that. A is awareness, L is location, A is ask the question, when have I felt this before? Then we're going to release and relax, relax and release. And then we're going to say our mantra. Okay. Now, some people have a mantra that they kind of say all day long. Because if you have, like, if you're someone that has anxiety, I lived with anxiety in my 20s. And I wish I had known about speaking out. I am calm. I am calm. I am calm. I wish I had known how to clear my emotions in those moments, but I didn't. And now I do. And I'm sure that all of that anxiety I experienced in my 20s was to help me understand and help people as they release their emotions. So, with that, that is another episode of Self-Sabotage No More with Jennie Potter. Again, if you want that method, you can either join the Facebook community, Self-Sabotage No More with Jennie Potter, or you can hop onto my website and download the PDF at jenniepotter.com. And again, it's called the A.L.A.R.M method. Just scroll down, you'll see it. You can click on it, download it. And I cannot wait to speak with you next week because in our next episode, we're going to talk about another way to identify old unprocessed emotions that are stuck in your body, impacting your life, impacting your vibration. And we're gonna talk about how you can identify and clear those in a different way. Until then, Practice the alarm method every time you notice an emotion. All day long, be asking yourself, what am I feeling right now? What am I feeling right now? One of the things we're not taught when we're younger is to have awareness around how we're feeling and accept how we're feeling and be curious about how we're feeling and notice, oh, body's feeling a bit melancholy today, or body's tired today, or body's sad today, or body's happy today, or I'm noticing I'm feeling kind of sad today. I wonder what's up. Okay, let's bring some curiosity to our feelings. I'm very excited to share more with you. Until next week, I will see you on episode 8. Take care and happy releasing. Bye for now.